Hey guys, what is going on? So today I have a different kind of video. So this is going to be a really fun video to make, and this is, I'm basically going to be talking about my experiences, this year in school with, metal, like, being metal in school, and how metal and school don't really mix, but sometimes, when you do mix metal in school, it makes me it's kind of funny. Like, I have, like, 5 stories I'm going to tell, or just 5 kind of general subjects I'm going to cover. I'll have them written down here if you see me looking down, but anyways. I think the most metal thing that I did in school this year was me and my friends. One of my friends has a Bluetooth speaker, and we would connect to it, and my friends, some of them listen to metal, so, like, we would blast fucking music on there all the time, especially in PE class, since, like, a lot of us had the same PE class, so we would all just hang out in that class instead of, like, fucking running the mile. We'd be, like, walking in the track and, like, blasting freaking Slayer. Like, I think one song that we overplayed so much was Raining Blood. Like, we overplayed Raining Blood so fucking much, it was great. But yeah, but something really, really funny that we did one time was I put it on, what did I put it on? I put on, like, I put on Decapitated Nile or Dying Fetus. I'm pretty sure it was Decapitated, though. I can't remember, I just remember having it on, like, Tech Death, and it just, like, I walked up to, we were blasting it when we were walking the track in PE, and, like, I walked up to the teacher, and I said, "Hey, you like my mixtape? I did the vocals for this." And my teacher just threw me a really dirty look, and, I hate my PE teacher, he's a dick, but it was really funny, because, like, he looked so confused. It was just great. I hate PE class, so, like, it was really funny, like, I don't know, and always people would get all pissed off when we're blasting, like, metal and shit, because, like, you know how people are. If you listen to metal, you know how people are, how they're fucking annoying. Or, like, they're, like, blasting their shitty, like, auto-tune rap music on their Bluetooth speaker, and we walk past them, like, blaring freaking Metallica, and they're all, like, looking at us. Or one time somebody was like, "Turn that shit down," and we were just like, "No," and then they just, like, got pissed. It's just, like, hilarious. But yeah, this is actually really recently, this week, actually, my friend put it on Slipknot, because he really likes Slipknot, and we walked past the teacher, and, like, while blasting that, we walked past this teacher, it was, like, this old lady, and she just threw us this really dirty look, like, what the fuck. It was really funny, and we were right outside, like, the library at my school, and, like, I don't know, it was just great. Yeah, especially when I put on really heavy shit, though, it's really funny when I put it on, like, death metal. Yeah, I put on a lot of Decapitated, sometimes, but, yeah, anyways, so yeah, like, for heavier shit, like, for most of the part, we're basically listening to Slayer and, like, more mainstream stuff like that, but sometimes I'll put it on, like, Dying Fetus or Decapitated or Nile or something. Anyways, but yeah. Next story, this is a really funny one. It kind of pissed me off a little bit, but it's really funny. And I'm talking about my evil biology team. I fucking hate them. They're, like, so annoying. They're the whole, "It's all just screaming, you're emo," type people. But what's really funny is that, like, since, like, at first I tried being polite and everything, you know, like, trying to make, and they're just, you know, you just meet somebody, they're just, like, an asshole, like, regardless of how you treat them. They were those kind of people. So, like, what I did, just to make some fun out of it, was the whole year, I pretended to be, this whole school year, pretty much, or more the second half, because the first half I was just, like, arguing with them about shit, but the second half I kind of pretended to be, like, a psychopath, like I'm a fucking serial killer or something. It was so funny. Like, it was either last week or the week before, my teacher put it on, like, we had some free time at the end of the period, and my teacher put it on a movie. She had it on Jurassic World. That was a really bad movie, but anyways, like, and the scenes where, like, the dinosaurs and shit, they're, like, eating people and, like, attacking them, I was just like, oh man, I was joking, like, pretending to be all, like, morbid and shit. I was just like, oh man, there's not enough blood. What? They didn't show his guts? Oh, come on, you had to shoot him. You could have just let him eat you. Like, I would say, like, crazy shit like that. And they would all just look at me like, what the fuck? And I'm like, after the credits were rolling at the end, I was just like, God, this movie was terrible, right? So then this stupid girl on my biology team, she goes, "What do you like?" And I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "What's your favorite movie?" And then, my favorite movie this is my favorite movie, but I kind of over-exaggerate. I looked at her and I'm all, The Exorcist. Like, I try to look all fucking crazy, I'm all, The Exorcist. And then she was like, "Oh my God, I'm just done." And, like, it was great. Like, I don't know, The Exorcist is my favorite movie, though. I really like horror movies. But yeah, that was so funny when I fucking, like, act all crazy. They like scared my biology team, and they were a bunch of fucking dicks. So yeah, it was really funny. Oh, this one's really funny. Okay, so one time in my English class, my teacher was going over the poem Annabelle Lee by Edgar Allan Poe, and like I wasn't really paying attention. Not because it was Poe, because I enjoy like Poe, like his like poetry chicks. I was like dark and stuff. But anyways, like I was really fucking bored because like my English teacher is just that's probably one of my least favorite classes. Cause like I enjoy English, but like that teacher was just so boring. But anyways, she was going over like entertaining it with the class, and I'm kind of half paying attention. And there's part when she's reading one line, right? I don't know how the fuck she knew this, but like so she's like reading it, and then one of the words in the line was something about like in her sepulcher by the sea, and the teacher goes, "Now, I'm sure none of you know what a sepulcher is, but if you look it up, you'll see why." She said something like, I heard that there was a heavy metal band in the 80s called, in the 80s or the 90s, that was called Sepultura. She totally mispronounced the name. It's called Sepultura. And if you look up the word sepulcher, it probably means a similar thing to Sepultura. So, you could see why a metal band would want to name themselves after that. And I was like, I wasn't really paying attention, so I'm just sitting there kind of dozing off. And then she's all, I just heard the word Sepultura, and I was like, I totally jumped up. I was like, Sepultura, and then everyone in the class starts fucking laughing. But it was great, and she's like, yeah, they're heavy metal, right? And I'm like, yeah, like thrash metal, death metal. And she threw me, she's like, and then she went back to teaching. But that was so great. Like, that was really funny. I was kind of dozing off, and I just hear the word Sepultura, and I immediately, like, woke up, and I was like, Sepultura. But yeah, that's a really funny story. Oh, this next one is really good. Okay, so, one time, like, at my school, I'm in, like, a music club, where, like, we play songs and stuff, and, actually, I'll tell about that. I forgot to write that down, but I'll tell about that right after this story, because I have another story, and it involves the same band. But anyways, so we had one of our performances after school at, like 5 o'clock, I think it was. But anyways, after we performed, like, there was a bunch of it was like a talent show, I guess. And then there was a bunch of other, like, people performing and stuff, right? And this is the really funny part. So after, it's about 9 o'clock, and everyone's done performing. Well, not everyone, but we're done performing, and I'm kind of bored, so I'm like, fuck it, I'll just get ready to leave. So, my dad was there, and he was, like, watching me perform, and I thought that he left after we performed, because I saw him walk out of the room. But anyways, so I'm, like, waiting in the parking lot. It's literally, like, dark out. Like, it's pitch black, and I'm in the parking lot by the school. Right, so I'm sitting there, and I was actually wearing this same shirt, and I guess he was a janitor. I hope he was a janitor, but there's this janitor out there, and he was like sweeping up trash or whatever. I don't know. You could tell he was a janitor though, because he had like the blue hat on and like the uniform, like to be a fucking janitor, and he had like his cart in the background, like janitors have at schools. But anyways, he walks up to me and he's like, "Oh, you have a cool shirt, dude." And then he goes, "Slayer," and he goes like this, and he sticks his tongue out, and he goes, and I'm like, "Oh God, I don't know you, but you don't seem like you listen to me." I'm like, I didn't say that, but I was like, yeah, and he goes, "Yeah, rain," and he says, "Rain of blood, dude." Yeah, and he goes, and I'm just like, "Oh, yeah," and I'm like texting my dad, telling him to hurry up, because this was so sketchy. Like, it was in the fucking parking lot at like 9:30 that night. Just this creepy janitor going, "Yeah, dude, rain of blood," and he was totally like, something about him just seemed really off. Like, it was just really funny. Like, he was like misnaming stuff like rain of blood, or what else did he say? Or like, he named a song. I forgot what it was that he mispronounced. It was like, I think it was he mispronounced seasons. He said "Seasoning the Abyss." I was like, "Oh, he listens to Slayer, huh? What's your favorite song?" And he's "Seasoning the Abyss," and I'm like, yeah. It was like this creepy ass janitor, like just like trying to talk to me about metal, but you could tell he didn't listen to it, and he was just trying to be polite, or he was like out of it. I don't know, but it was really funny. He's like, "Yeah, rain of blood, dude," and I'm like, yeah, yeah, fucking Slayer. That was great. But anyways, getting back to my music club, this also involves Slayer, because Slayer is fucking Slayer. But anyways, one time, like early on this school year, like, we picked our songs, I guess, and I picked Angel of Death by Slayer, obviously, and so the problem with that was the bass player in the club, he couldn't play fast enough to do that, and we didn't have a double bass on the drums. And the drummer in that club, he's really cool. He's also metalhead. So we made it, me and him actually kind of picked that song. It wasn't just me, but anyways, he so we're playing the song, but it didn't sound quite right because there was no double bass. So, and I only had 2 other songs at the time that I was playing, and then there's like, because it's like in the club, there's like, I guess there's kind of 2 groups in the club. There's me, the bass player, and the drummer, and then the singer, and then there's 2 other guys in the club that play guitar, and they're like, there's like them, and then the drummer and the bass player and singer. So it's like they have their songs, and then I have my songs, basically, right? So technically I had 3 songs. So Angel of Death, and the other song, I can't remember who picked it. I can't remember if it was me or not. The other song is Paranoid by Black Sabbath, so another metal song. And then the third song was one that the bass player picked, and that was Come Together by the Beatles, which, like, I'm not saying that I don't respect the Beatles for what they did, but I can hardly listen to them just because it brings back really bad childhood memories. I don't want to talk about that, but anyways, like, oh, fuck, like, okay, this is, like, so we were playing Angel of Death, and then eventually, I guess, and, like, you know, the guy in charge of the club, the bass player, like, he's the one in charge of the club, basically, and he didn't, like, he was the president of the club, and you could tell he wasn't really a metal kind of person, and, like, you know, like, not quite like, you know, the whole metal screaming type, but he just wasn't really, he's not really a metalhead. I keep stuttering, fuck. Anyways, so he was like, you know what, guys, that song isn't sounding very good, because you don't have the double bass drums, and there's no bass or vocals, because he didn't let us do the lyrics, because the lyrics are about the fucking Holocaust and shit, but anyways, so, like, he basically said we can't play that song anymore, so and the thing is, he didn't let me replace it with another song, so I only had 2 songs, right? Now, the other group of guys in the club, like, the other 2 guitar players, they had fucking, like 3 or 4 songs, and, like, I was just like, whatever, so, but I noticed that half the time, they, like 3/4 of the time, they'd be playing their shitty songs, and I had, like, 1 or 2 songs, but we mostly did, the Beatles song, anyways. Oh, man, it sucked, but, like, I don't know, it just really sucked, and, like, the other guys in the club, they're, like, they have, like, really shitty songs, like, they don't really have the best taste in music. I'm not gonna go on about that, but anyways, like, it was really funny, though, like, I was pissed about that, and looking back, it's kind of funny. After that, like, we started new songs, but we never finished them, and I was supposed to do vocals for the one that we did, and guitar, which was Infernal Death by Death. That's the song we were gonna do, but, we never got around to it, because it was the end of the school year, and, speaking of which, I'm doing this video, kind of, because it's, like, tomorrow's the last day of school, and, like, but, like, I don't know. It's, like, an end of the school year kind of video, I guess, but it's not all cheesy, and, like, memories or whatever, I don't know. Okay, now, my last story, this video's getting a little long, is, my elective in school is journalism, and, basically, like, obviously I signed up for other stories, but I mostly just sign up for the music section of the school newspaper, to write stories for that. And the funny thing is, it's not like they come up with a story and then you just signed it, like, you just sign up for a spot, and then, like, you could write about, like, they'll have, like, a general theme, like, okay, for this, section, we'll be doing, like, for this month, we'll be doing album reviews, okay, who wants to do one? And then like, let's say I sign up for one, and then I pick the album, right? I would always pick metal and punk albums, or, like, you know, metal or punk bands. Like, for example, I wrote, who did I write about? Okay, let me name some of the bands. I've written about Black Flag, I've also written about Pig Destroyer. I also wrote about Deaf Heaven. Actually, I did, like, a really big story on Deaf Heaven, which is pretty cool. And more recently, I actually got 2 stories in the last issue, one on Slayer and one on NoFX. If you don't believe me, I have proof right here. Like, quite literally, fucking Slayer. In the school newspaper, next to everybody's, like, rap stories or whatever. And more proof. I wrote an album review for, the newest NoFX album. Really funny, but yeah. It's just a really funny way to, like, spread the metal like a plague in the school. Actually, here's another story. It involves Slayer once again, because Slayer's fucking Slayer. I know I sound like a poser, but I don't think that they're, like, underground or anything. Anyways, I just really like Slayer. But anyways, this is a really funny one. So at me and my friends, we were like hanging out in this one area that technically we're not supposed to because it's not like off campus, but it's just really far by the gate, I guess. But it's like in the field at my school. But there's like this one area where there's like a bunch of like these giant containers or whatever. So we'd like hang out around there. And I bet it looked really sketchy because no one hangs out over there. But we didn't know that we weren't supposed to hang out over there at the time. But we're right by the fence to somebody's house, and they have like a cage up really high with like, and there are a bunch of parrots in it. And I remember how like you could teach a parrot to talk and like say this shit. So I was like, yeah, I was teaching my friend walks up to the parrot and he goes, "Say Batman," and the parrot was like, "Bah!" And like I was like, "Say fucking Slayer," and then the parrot it didn't quite get it at first, and after a few days I trained the parrot to say fucking Slayer, and now the parrot says fucking Slayer, and we kind of stopped hanging out there once we realized that we weren't supposed to hang out over there. But anyways, yeah, metal and school do not mix, but it's really funny when they do in uncanny, just ironic ways. I don't know. This was a fun video to make. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.